Hi, everybody. Before we get to another great interview, the Two Opinionated podcast could really use your help. And it's easy, it's free. IMDb, which is the entertainment database, imdb.com, named us a top 100 podcast. We came in at number 82. That's a big deal because there's 15 million podcasts and growing. So to be named to anybody's top 100 list, pretty big deal for us. And the way you can help is to go to imdb.com, look up the Two Opinionated podcast, and that's it. Just bringing our page up. That traffic really helps us out. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. All we ask is that you subscribe. It's also free, but that really helps us to attract these amazing guests that we keep bringing on the program. And that's it. Two easy ways for you to support us, and we would really appreciate the help. Now let's get to that interview. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Two Opinionated. I'm so excited today. I've got actress Conni Miu with me. So welcome, Conni.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be here.
I was thinking actress the whole time, but I know you danced. So
Oh, yes.
I almost said dancer, but that wouldn't have been
Yeah.
way off because you at least have danced at some point.
And aren't we all dancers in our own way? I'm just kidding. I don't know.
I think I'm going to start using that because I am
Yeah.
definitely not.
Well, oh, really? Okay.
I am the
Well, I feel
worst
like they say that about
dancer.
singers too. They're like, everyone's secretly a singer. Everyone can be
See,
Anyways,
I don't
get where I
believe
was.
it. I do believe that everybody wants to be a singer.
Oh,
I do not believe
well.
everybody can sing. Although I'm kind of the opinion that it doesn't matter if you can sing or if you can dance, do it anyway. If it makes you
Enjoy.
happy, just do it. Who cares?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, who cares? So Connie, let's start this way. Tell me a little bit about what got you into acting. Such a difficult profession. Why do you want to be an actress?
Well, I think a lot of it started with dance. My mom, she always likes to tell me that I was way too energetic as a kid. It's like I need to do
She had to
something
put
with
you in
that.
something.
Honestly, she was like, I just need you to like be somewhere else for a little bit just to get your energy out. So it started with that. And so she put me in ballet at the age of 3. So it started really early.
Oh, that's early. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and so I did that most of my childhood, the ballet, the jazz, the tap,
I was
the
gonna say
all
you're not just in ballet, you're in all of it.
I
Better.
did the whole thing. Yeah, I was like I have to know how to do it all. And I really just got like a little taste for that performing bug, I
Yeah.
think, with dance. And I always had this itch to do theater. So one of the dance styles that I used to do was called like dance theater. And like it was
Oh
a
yeah.
child company and we'd put together like a little show of like a children's novel.
Oh, I like
And
that.
yeah, it was super fun. And I would always get cast in like these out there characters. So like one year I had to be Augustus Gloop from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So when you're like 13, you're a 13-year-old girl and you're like, I guess I have to be Augustus Gloop. You start making some choices and some risks. And I start to realize, you know what? Okay, this is actually kind of fun. Yeah, and so I
Well,
kind
I
of got,
love that because that's
yeah.
not a normal role that you would get,
No,
but maybe it
no.
helped to spark something in you.
I think it did. It like really pushed me out of that comfort zone and yeah, and then from there is I just really wanted to take drama and I could finally take drama in high school like my last year. Like the grade 12. I don't know if it's the same in America, but
Yeah,
grade 12.
I think for high school, not that I was a drama kid, but I did
Yeah.
date one that was, and she was in it all
Yeah.
4 years in high school.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I only got the last year, the year right before I graduated, and I had already applied to universities as a dancer. That's what I wanted to do, and then
Yeah.
I walked in, was like fell in love with the acting, and then tried to like go back and change my major to doing drama. Um, and then eventually I moved out to Toronto to do film acting, and that's kind of how I ended up here.
And here you are.
Yeah, and here I am. Yeah.
So okay, so I'll start with dance. I remember dance. I was a dance dad. You know, my
Hmm.
oldest danced all the way through high school. She never had any aspirations to really go further than that, but she did all the dance. So I'm very aware of the recitals, the competitions, and they're great when your kid is up there.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's fair. That's
But there's
honestly,
like 50 dances, and maybe your kid's in 3 of them.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I
It's
know.
kind of brutal as a parent, but I loved it. And now her daughter is 5, and she dances. So she's in
Oh, cute.
her, I think this is her 3rd year. Maybe it's her second or third year. So
Okay.
she's been
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
it, for a little bit, and she loves it.
Oh, that's great.
I
That's so
think
fun.
with kids, you got to keep trying them in things until they find what they enjoy
Mhm.
doing. And it doesn't matter if that's a career path. If they enjoy doing it, let them do it, because it keeps them
Yes.
busy and
Active.
energetic. And
Yeah.
if you find something you love, chances are you're good at it or okay at it. And that tends to build confidence. And then you try other things, and it just leads to a whole lot more than just a dance class, if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
With
pretty
all
good.
the,
So
yeah.
when you were doing theater and you wanted to get
Yeah.
into TV, did you or to movies, did you land a role right off, or did you have to do commercials? How did you get into that?
Oh, oh, you know what? Hmm. Okay, so I did 2 years of theater at university, and
Okay.
then I was like, I just want to do film. So I left my degree, moved to Toronto, auditioned for a little bit, and I I think it took like a year for me to get my first agent, but it was the first audition I did with that agent that I booked.
That's pretty
And
good.
I mean,
If
thank
I
you.
was that agent, I'd be taking credit.
But I mean, on the other hand though, it was like it was a stepping stone kind of role. Like, it was, I didn't have any lines. I was kind of just there, but it was fun nonetheless. And yeah.
Well, you have to get your feet
Yeah.
wet.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Little
so
steps.
yeah, that's pretty good. We loved you on The Boys.
Oh,
Love that
thank
you
you.
showed up there. I put myself through college in the 90s. I owned a couple of comic book stores.
Hmm.
So I'm a big comic book guy.
Yeah.
The Boys comic, brutal. I mean, the show is so brutal. The comic, even worse. Good. I
Oh,
mean, excellent, but just violent.
wait,
Very.
how did I not know that there was a comic?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have admitted that. That's probably like
Yeah.
bad.
You should go read them, because the show is so good, but it is
Yeah.
a lot different from the comic. Like
Interesting. Hmm.
in the comics, Yui, Yui's kind of the main guy that from the
Yeah.
start. He's Scottish, and his dad is patterned like his dad in the comic looks like Simon Pegg, which is who they
Oh,
patterned his dad
yeah.
after in the comic. So it's a little different, but it's just as violent. It's brutal. But yeah, you should go check those out. I think you'd like them.
Yeah. Is the storyline like really different, or is it the
No,
style
it
that
follows
which
basically the same
oh,
story.
okay.
It probably a little more detailed in the comics because they got longer to tell the story. Basically.
Gotcha. So wait,
But
was there a big slapping scene in the comics then?
oh yeah.
Really? Ah,
You need to go read those.
I need to go read
And you
them. I
can
need
get them in you get them they're basically like big graphic novel
yeah.
books. So you can get whatever 10 issues at one time. And then
Oh,
so
interesting.
you can
Okay.
catch up fairly quick. It's worth it.
I'll do this after.
It's a good read. But
Okay,
yeah,
sold
you
me.
you did especially for somebody that didn't know that it was a comic book, you did a really good job.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate
I mean,
that.
that's a big cast. It's a
Yeah,
very good cast. A lot of big names
very
in
good.
that cast.
And I was, really excited to be able to do something with like Homelander. I was like, this is, I
Not
mean,
bad.
I lucked out with my scene for sure. Yeah.
He's he's such a jerk on that show. I
Oh.
mean, he's intimidating though. Like if you think about it, if you were around somebody that was that powerful, it'd be intimidating.
Yeah,
And he
absolutely.
intentionally tries to be intimidating.
Sweetest actor though.
Oh yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about him, and he looks so different when he's not made up like Homelander. You know, he
Believe it.
fixes, he cleans up very nice.
Okay, good to know. All right. Yeah, I believe it.
But
Yeah.
no, yeah, you were terrific in that role. I'm assuming, I mean, it's been a couple of years, but I'm assuming you did that. You auditioned remotely. Yeah, you weren't doing those in person back then, were you?
Yeah, yeah. That was December 2022. I
That's what I
auditioned.
was thinking. Yeah, so we were
Yeah.
past the pandemic point, so most of our stuff's remote at that point.
Yeah, totally. And so I remember my audition, like it didn't give me any information as to who anyone was. And I was actually
They probably had like a fake name on it, right?
I I think so. I can't remember, but I don't remember like knowing who I was in a scene with at all. And then I remember that when I got on set, the one of the who was it, the producer, the writer, told me that they cast me specific like one of the reasons they cast me is because I would slap my hand in the self-tape. I don't know if that's making any sense. Like I guess a lot of people slap the air in their self-tape, so it didn't have the same effect. But because I slapped my hand, it was like it brought
Made
me
a
to the top
noise.
of the pile for them. Yeah.
I
Well,
love that.
yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah, little
That may
things.
have got you the role.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty
Oh,
good.
thanks.
So, you uh, you made an appearance on a Christmas movie, according
Mhm.
to my daughter. So I couldn't tell you which one, but she said you because she watches all of them. So she said you were in one, and that's probably a law in Canada. You have to do a Christmas movie.
I
It's like a giving back service. If you're an actor,
yeah,
you
and
have to do a Christmas movie.
absolutely. And it's a service that needs to be renewed. So I think every couple of years I got to get in there and do another one. So I did
Where'd
my
you
first
film that one at? Was it in
yeah.
Vancouver or was it there in Toronto?
Though I so I've it's funny enough, I've actually shot two now. So because I
Very
went
nice.
back and re-upped last year
Oh,
in
you did
Toronto.
because I wrote that down. Christmas in My Heart. I forgot that one.
Oh yeah, so yeah, Christmas in
That
My
was the
Heart
first one, right?
was the first one. It was
Yeah,
shot in Montreal. Um, and then the one that I re-upped on last year was shot in Toronto.
that's pretty
Yeah.
good. That's pretty good. I
Yeah.
didn't think I wrote them down, but I did. Twas the what is that? What twas the date before Christmas?
Yes.
That's it. I can't read my writing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So,
I always
and then,
love Christmas movies because of the titles.
oh, I
Cheesy
know.
titles every time.
Yes, they just put all the same words and into a bucket and then they pull them out in different orders every time.
Have you got to play a dancer on TV yet or in a movie?
Hmm. I got to play a dancer in a short film
Oh, okay.
and yeah, got to do some ballet in that. So that was really great. It was more of like they filmed the lower half of me, or sorry, the upper half of me, not the
Yeah.
lower half of me. So it was a lot easier to pull off.
Probably
Because of
more
that,
about positioning and stuff at that point, right? If they're just doing
yeah. Yeah, and I think, it's easier to cheat the arms. At that point, I hadn't been dancing actively. So
yeah.
I
Yeah, so a
lost
little
my
cheating was
flexibility.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's certainly something I'd be happy to do again.
I've got a this is my Christmas movie pitch to you. I can't write it. I'm only the idea guy. So you have to take it from here.
All right. Okay.
So so you're small town girl,
Hmm.
only want to get out of the town. Suffocating you. It's too small. It's too small.
Yeah.
And you use dance to get out of the town. So
Mhm.
you go off, you become this successful dancer, real famous, all this good stuff, but you get
Yes.
and you can't dance anymore.
Oh,
So then you're just devastated. You're just in this bad state. So then you have to go back home. So you go back home and you're miserable and you don't want to be there. And you run into this guy that runs a dance studio.
oh, classic.
Right? There you go. And then he talks you into helping with the studio. You fall in love. Happy ending. There you go.
There it is.
There you go.
Honestly, uh,
That
let's
probably has
make
already been a movie.
I think like probably if you take out it's just swap the professions, I'm
That's
sure in
it.
every sense it's
Yeah,
been
that's
made.
it. See, now you've
Yeah.
given away my trick because I'm not very creative, but I'm pretty good. You just swap those professions. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's like now we gotta need one that's about like a comic book store owner, right?
There we go.
Comes, there you go.
You
That's the
know,
next.
that actually isn't too bad. So, comic book shop,
Yes.
and you're the employee. You're working in the shop. That's basically the only setup you'd need. Hijinks ensue.
True. Absolutely. Yeah,
I
that's
think you
fun.
could you would fit as a comic book employee. That would work.
Oh, okay, good.
Although I'll tell you, back in the '90s, there was no girl comic book employees.
Oh.
There was very few girl customers at that time. Thankfully, that's all changed. It's very diverse now, but back then, not so much.
Hilarious.
You'd know we'd have to have that scene, the
Mm.
typical nerdy scene where you're working behind the counter, but nobody realizes that there's a woman working at the comic store now. So then, all the guys come in to get their comics and they just stop. They're just frozen in place because there's a girl working behind the counter. We'd have to have
Yeah.
that scene.
Yes, absolutely. Let's make it tomorrow.
That's right. So, okay. So the new one is Doc, which has shoot, I forgot. Molly Parker is the star. Loved her in Lost in Space, a lot of other stuff. She's such a good actress. But tell me about that one. What's the show about? What's your role in it?
So the show is about Dr. Amy Larson. She's played by Molly Parker. She's a brilliant physician, and she gets into a car crash. She
Oh,
loses 8 years of her memory, and
wonder why
that's
just 8 years.
I don't know why 8 years,
I'm
but it's
assuming they would explain it at some point.
yeah, I think it was just what happened because it's based off of a real life story where
Really?
an Italian doctor lost 12 years of his memory. So I don't know why eight. But
So I'm
yeah, anyway.
assuming she's still got her, like she's still a doctor. She still has all of that ability, but she's
Mhm.
basically lost 8 years or the past 8 years.
Yes, the past 8 years. So she wakes up and she thinks her kids are young again,
Yeah,
and they're up, um
that's
there's
scary.
all these yeah, there's all these like personal life things that she's forgotten that have taken place. And so it's I think it's a really gripping story because it's a real story. It has happened to somebody, which is so crazy
Yeah,
to
it's
wrap
crazy.
around.
I just can't
Yes,
imagine waking up and you know who you are. You're just like in the past, basically. You just lost,
absolutely.
yeah, a chunk of time. That's so weird.
Absolutely. And in this story's case, Dr. Amy Larson had kind of gone down a path where she was maybe not the nicest doctor, not the friendliest doctor.
Right.
And he kind of wakes up and has to reconcile with that. And she, gets kind of a second chance to either make a change with that or carry on
Oh, I
down her
kind of like
path.
that. Yeah, so
Yeah.
she's probably
Yeah.
running into people that maybe she's done wrong in the past,
Mhm.
and now she has to, you know,
Mhm.
show them that she's changed.
Exactly. Yes. And like I think so for my character, so I play a nurse that's also on
Yeah.
the same floor. And I
Did you know her before the accident?
I did know her before the accident,
Okay.
and my character's meant to be kind of a newer nurse. She's a bit of a rookie nurse, so she's incredibly intimidated by Dr. Larson. And so then when she gets into her accident, she becomes a patient at the same hospital and recovers in the same floor in the same unit in hopes of, the familiarity is going to help her get her memory
Yeah.
back. So then there's kind of an interesting dynamic shift where it's like all of a sudden this doctor I'm super intimidated by is now one of the patients on the floor and I have to help take care of her.
Oh, I
So it
kind of
creates
love that.
creates kind of an interesting dynamic.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
because well, does she remember you, or is that part of what she lost?
That's part of what she lost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I
So
figured.
there's definitely a moment between my character's name is Liz and Amy where it's kind of, she had to double check you're this person, right?
Yeah.
It's very interesting, very strange. Yeah.
I kind of love that story though, because I mean, we dabble with the amnesia, storylines at different times, but this one's kind of unique, and it's based on a true story, which I didn't
Yes.
know. I love that. Although I
Yeah.
hate that somebody would that could actually happen to somebody. That's awful.
I know. But, he seems to be happy and came through it. So,
I know. I wonder if near the end of the show she gets her memory back. Do you know if the guy ever did?
the guy never did.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
maybe
I
not.
mean, it's just terrifying to think how life can just change like that,
Yeah.
and
I guess though, if you're happy and you kind of reacclimate with your family so that
Mhm.
then that's not terrible. She's making the best of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think.
Well, and is the story that she wasn't the best person, she has amnesia, and then maybe is starting to become a better person, better doctor, that type of story, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely one of the major
I kind of
storylines,
like
I think.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, for her character arc. Yeah, I know, it's great.
it's
So,
pretty good. So I think it's on Hulu here in the States. Is that right?
yes. So it streams live on Fox on
Mhm.
Tuesday nights, and then it goes to Hulu for
Oh, very
streaming
good.
on
Very
Wednesday.
good. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
to catch up. I talked to my wife about it. She's in, so we'll start watching this one. You know how when you're in a couple, you got to make sure the other one doesn't want to watch before you watch. So she
Oh,
wants to watch this
absolutely.
one, so we'll watch it
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
together.
And obviously we all know the rules. You can't like go an episode ahead when
No,
you're
no,
trying
no.
to trying to break up, trying to start a fight,
I know
like,
you can't do that. That's to me, that is one of the actual true reasons to get a divorce. Someone watching a show without you.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough.
Although I have, and she's done it too. If one of us watches something and we're like, oh, I think they would like that, I'll rewatch. I'll
Okay.
rewatch with her, and she's done that with me before. I just, I tend to, I'll prep for interviews or something while we're watching that type of thing till we catch up to where I'm at, and then we can go.
Oh, I see. I
Yeah,
see. Yeah. What do
yeah.
you guys watch?
Well, so right now I'm rewatching. She's watching for the first time from. I don't know if you know from.
Oh, I've
I,
heard of it. Yeah.
oh, you should watch that one. It's
Yeah.
so good. Yeah, it's so
Oh,
good.
God.
So good. One of my
Yeah.
favorite shows. I've been lucky enough to talk to a bunch of that cast. I always recommend that one from and
Hmm.
Resident Alien if you're not watching that one. Excellent.
Hmm.
It's on Netflix and Peacock, I think.
Okay.
Those are two of my favorite shows. So if you need something to
Oh,
watch, there you go.
okay. Sounds
And you're
good.
not like way behind, from 3 seasons, 10
Yeah.
episodes each. That's not too bad. And
Not
about the same
intimidating.
for Resident Alien. So about 30 episodes each,
Okay.
The fourth season's coming out probably late in the year. So yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I feel like
Yeah.
my job is done here. I've passed on my watching knowledge.
Well, ever
What
since
are you
Succession
watching?
ended.
Give me a show that you're watching.
Me, well, ever since Succession ended, I've just been walking around lost.
What a
Um,
show.
but
That
what
was
am
a
I
great
watching?
show.
Oh, unbelievable. And I
I was
just,
kind of hoping they'd have one more year, but they wrapped it up pretty good.
I know. They ended on a high, so I'll accept it. But I just came back from London, so I have all the thick, like they're this thick script books. I couldn't get them in Canada, so I literally like made a point to get them in London.
Oh, wow.
Um, so yeah, I'm excited because I felt like the script was so good.
It is
But
a
I'm
very well written show.
really
I
well
keep
written.
what did the showrunner or the writer, what did they do before Secession? I kind of curious if I've seen, because it was so good. I doubt they just showed up. They've probably done other things, but I don't think I ever looked.
Good question. I don't think I ever looked either.
Yeah.
Mark,
Need to know
Mark,
because there may be other shows I want to watch out there.
well, I know Mark Malloy's doing the new Harry Potter, and
That's right. That's right.
yeah, yeah. And so I'm a little bit more on board with it now that I know he's
Yeah.
attached.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. It needed a little
Yeah,
help, let's say.
I
Let's say.
was just, hesitant, maybe.
I think a lot of people probably were, but yeah, that's kind of reassuring.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. So on Doc, will we
Hmm.
get to see Liz? Will Liz still be around after the season? Like if it comes back for season 2, will Liz be back?
I really hope so. I think there's certainly an avenue for her, and the season ends with her in an interesting place. So there's definitely room for it to
Oh,
grow.
okay. Okay. So we get
And
is it like a little bit of a cliffhanger with her?
I wouldn't say it's necessarily a cliffhanger, but there's something pretty I
Unfinished
mean,
business, let's say.
she just ends in a different emotional state than I think a lot of the
Okay.
other characters do.
Okay.
Um, so it sets her up for potential, I guess, in
She
season.
didn't have an accident and lose 8 years of her life, did she?
No, no, she didn't. That'd be crazy. It's just like everyone all of a sudden just everyone started losing their memory. It
God,
was this doctor and then followed by this
that's
nurse, followed
probably a show.
by
You could make her like a horror movie. You could do
oh, yeah, you're absolutely right.
where
Spin
people
off
just
into
start
it.
losing. Ooh, I
Yeah.
think I should write that down. Because that would be
Yeah.
pretty creepy if you think about it. If
Yeah.
just, slowly everybody lost all their memory.
Well, and I'm assuming the last person to lose their memory would probably have a huge advantage in terms of manipulating. Do you know what I mean? Because the next
Especially if
one,
if you
no?
figured out that everybody's starting to lose their memory.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could really take advantage.
You could take advantage and set yourself up before you lost your memory. Because eventually it's
Absolutely.
coming.
Yes. Wait. Do you normally come up with like
This
new show ideas in a talk?
um I'd like to say no, but it's yes.
Okay. Good to know. There's someone listening, jotting these all
Jotting
down.
these down. And I'm okay with it. If you want to give me
Yeah.
a special thanks in the credits, I'm okay with that. But you know,
Deal.
these are free ideas. Anybody can use
Gotcha.
them. Tell me about his father's son. Was that a movie?
That is a movie, yes.
Yeah, tell me
It's
about that one.
Canadian indie. It's about a Persian family, and they get a Persian Canadian family, and they get some very interesting news that kind of changes their whole family dynamic. So
Oh,
yeah, it first started making their festival runs at the end of what, October, November. And so hopefully they'll have, a great theatrical release later this year.
yeah.
And
Let's hope so. Let's hope so.
yeah.
I had a group on. They're doing a film about the plane crash. Well, it wasn't crash. The plane that got shot down. It was a Ukrainian plane, but it had Canadian Iranians on the plane, and it got shot down. But it's called Papa Sierra. But it was a movie about Canadian Persians, basically. So it's kind of interesting that you also did a movie that
Yeah.
was that subject matter. Yeah, I'll have to check that one out. Especially,
Yeah.
does it have a little bit of humor in it?
It does. And you know what? It's such a Milad, our director, has such a dry humor
Yeah,
that, sometimes on set I would almost be like, not sure. But then
yeah,
seeing it come to life on screen, I was like, oh, it just has this light kind of rhythm of levity throughout
yeah.
that's really expected just based on how dry it is. Uh, or dry his humor is. So what I mean is that it translates kind of simple on the screen,
Right.
but it's really quite funny.
I'll probably like
Uh,
that.
yeah, but then also just with all the family dynamics and the family drama that takes place, there is a lot of groundedness as well. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'll have to check that one out. So it's doing the festival round, so it's not on
Yes.
wide release yet.
Not yet, so soon. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. They haven't said much to me about it yet, but I think it's coming. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's exciting. Is there a genre that you haven't done that you'd like to do?
Hmm. I'd ooh, I'd really like to try my hand at comedy.
I think you'll be
Um,
good at comedy.
oh,
If
thanks.
we're going to do a comic book movie, you're going to have to do some comedy.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely. And I think a lot of what I've done and I really enjoy doing is quite grounded dramatic pieces. I think I really like
Yeah,
realism. I really like I don't know, something with a kind of like a raw texture, raw tone kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would love to try my hand at like, I love the show New Girl.
Oh, New Girl's the best.
New
I
Girl's the
rewatched
best.
it a couple of years ago, just because I hadn't seen it in a while. It holds
Mhm.
up. It's a good show.
Yeah, I love that one. And I specifically feel like Nick, I could relate to Nick's character, and I'd like to do like, kind of I mean, obviously my beginnings in being Augustus Gloop when I was younger,
Oh, that's
I feel like
true.
it's a little comedy that lives in me somewhere. Just
You could do a
trying to
New
get out.
Girl style show, but kind of reverse the characters a little bit, and that would be pretty good.
You're right. Yeah. I wouldn't say
You
no.
could be a Nick character.
Yeah.
I was a Schmidt guy. I like Schmidt. He just
Oh,
amused me.
oh, Schmidt's great. I mean, everyone's amazing.
Yeah, it is. And they did that difficult thing where they had to kind of replace cast members during the run, and they
Yeah.
did it, and it was still really good. That's not easy to
Yeah.
do.
I mean, honestly, also Megan Fox's little run that she had on the show
Good.
was good. I really didn't
Yeah,
expect
it
that from
was. Yeah, it
her.
was probably it. Well, it's the best thing that I've seen her in as far as what I liked, and she's done some good things. Don't get me wrong, but I think that one she was funny in that.
She was great. Yeah, absolutely. I
Her
agree.
like she's got kind of a dry sense of humor, kind of understated, and it went really
Hmm.
well on that show.
Hmm.
Worked really good, especially with Nick. I thought the two of them playing off
Oh,
each
it
other
was
was
great.
hilarious. Yeah.
They were great. Yeah.
See, now I want to go watch it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need more comedies because it's a lot of the longtime sitcoms have kind of started to fade off. They're ending, but we haven't really. We're in that gap where we haven't had new ones jump up and take their place yet. I feel like we need more.
I mean, I'm trying to think of what the last comedy I even watched was. I don't know.
New
Trying
one
to-
is I've been watching that Saint Denis Medical. I don't know if you've seen that one. That one's pretty good. It's in a hospital.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's NBC, so I'm sure it's on Peacock. But
Hmm.
Saint Denis Medical. It's funny. It's pretty
And
good.
it's like the comedy first, or is it like
Oh
a
yeah,
blend?
it's completely a comedy. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
oh,
kind of
fun.
like The Office in a hospital because they talk
Oh,
to
fun.
the camera, and it's got the film crew that's kind of following them around, and so it's kind of like that.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
We're gonna have to get together every few months and just trade shows we're watching.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I'll say Doc, Doc's, Doc's pretty dramatic.
Yeah. We're gonna be watching Doc. Doc's one of those shows that we usually watch earlier in the evening because we like
Mm,
the end of the evening's more comedy. Earlier, that's the
yeah.
drama.
Yeah, exactly. You have to lighten up as you
You
go.
got to
That
lighten
makes
it up as the evening
Yeah,
goes.
yeah, 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 totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm such a fan of Molly's. I was going to watch it anyway,
Oh,
but now I've got a reason. Now that you're on there,
she's
double
great.
reason.
I loved working with her. She's also such a great role model.
Yeah,
And I mean, the stamina she needed to have to lead that show was incredible to
not
see.
easy being first on the call sheet.
It's not. And the hours are long for her. She's there every day, and she was consistently the nicest person on set, which I think is just,
That's
I
pretty
mean,
great. I mean, that's what
that's
you want,
great.
right? Because if you're newer, you
Mhm,
want your main actor, your experienced actor, to be nice and welcoming, or it
mhm.
might mess up the whole experience for you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So I
So,
was an actor, but then Molly was mean to me, and I never went back.
yeah. Oh my gosh. No, not at all.
Nobody
Molly, in
take
fact,
that clip. Molly was terrific. I was kidding.
yeah. No, I mean, honestly, in fact, Molly actually probably made me go like, okay, I want to do more. I'm like, I want to act more. I want to be more like
Yeah,
her.
she's one of those actors that it never seems like she's acting. Like you just
Mm.
believe whatever she's doing. I'm just like, yeah, okay, yeah. I guess they
Hmm.
really are lost in space.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
No,
pretty good. That's pretty
she's
good.
incredible.
So Doc Tuesday nights, Fox.
Hulu. Oh,
And
Fox, yeah, and then Hulu.
Hulu's probably the next day, right?
Yeah, Hulu on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the show had to just come out, right? Did it come back after the Christmas break?
What do you mean? Like
Like when
the
did the show start? Did it come out in the fall or did it come out
Oh,
now?
gotcha. It started airing first week of January.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's brand new.
Yeah, it's brand
Yeah.
new. So episode 4, guess will air tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess a fun little, I mean, while I'm here, might as well plug episode 8. I think it's my favorite that I got to
Okay.
shoot, and it's probably the closest my character got to comedy. It gets a little bit, I'm like, it's still a drama, but like there was definitely some like improv, funnier elements
Oh,
in
I
that
like that.
episode that, yeah, I kind of got a little taste of the
All right.
comedy in episode 8. So
I'm committing to watching at least the first one tonight. I'm getting it started
okay,
tonight.
nice.
But
Nice.
by next week, by the time episode 5 comes out, I'll be caught up.
Okay, great.
That's
At
my
least
commitment.
you have to stick around until at least episode 8.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere. I'll watch it.
Oh, okay.
I already know I'm going to like it.
Okay.
I wouldn't leave anyway. I have to see. I'd have watched it ahead of time, but I just ran out of time.
Gotcha.
It's on my list. You know how that goes. Well, maybe you don't know how that goes, but we're getting ready to hit 900 episodes on this podcast, which seems like a lot to me. Maybe other
That's huge.
people wouldn't think so. I think it's kind of big.
Oh, congratulations.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm kind of proud of it. So we just hit 6 years, my son and I, doing this. So 900 episodes. So there's a lot of TV that I'm behind because I'm trying to watch. I got a list and I'm trying to get you everything, but it's a lot.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
And there's so much good TV out there right now. And that doesn't even count the movies.
And they keep making more.
They keep making more. If they could just pause. But I say that, and then we hit like 2020, and all of us after like a month were desperate for something to watch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It seems like there's a lot, but maybe there's really not.
Oh. So wait, you were podcasting through
Yeah, we
COVID.
actually I hate to admit it, but honestly, the pandemic's probably the reason we took off because everybody was home. So, if I asked back then, most of my guests were by request. I was asking for them to come on. Nobody was saying no. And that's, we started in 2019. So we've been doing it for about a year and then it just took off from that. But that's always been my reasoning. You had everybody, not just our guests, but everybody was stuck at home. So maybe that helped us to gain an audience as well.
That's cool. And then wait, has your son been on board since the beginning?
Oh yeah, it was his idea. He figured out, like, originally we were doing these together, and he figured out very quickly he did not like being on camera. Like but he loves to edit. He loves doing the behind the scenes stuff. So if you look on the very early episodes, he's on there with me. We're doing the together, and I loved it. But he just he did not care for it.
Gotcha.
So I was like, well, I'll just start getting people that he likes. And that worked for a little while, but eventually he's like, I'm done.
Yeah, it's just not. I mean, fair enough. And he does a good job editing, so that's
he edits,
right.
and he does he's a librarian during the day. So he's busy. He's all right.
Oh, good.
I told him, I was like, I only did it to spend time with him. And then I figured out I loved it. So it worked out for both of us. It's pretty. We started in a bedroom, and now we've got our own studio. It's all right. I retired from my day job. Not too bad.
Oh, wow. And so what are you going to do when you get to 1,000? And is that going to happen this year probably, or?
It should happen this year. Yeah, probably maybe in the fall. We normally put out about 4 episodes a week. So, probably 6 months or so from now. We'll get there. Ideally, I'll put it out there to the universe just in case. Ideally, I would get Jennifer Garner for our 1,000th episode because we're podcasting basically from where she grew up. I mean, this was, right where we're at. This is where she grew up. So it seems like that would be that'd be a good fit for 1,000th episode.
Oh,
That's hard to
yes.
say, 1,000 episodes.
Oh my, well, I hope that happens.
I know. I'm crossing my fingers. I've been
I
talking
think
with her people a little bit. It's just, people are busy. It's
easy, but I mean,
hard to pin
if
down.
anyone pull it off.
If you happen to run into her, just put a little bug in her ear.
Yeah, of course. I'll see her on Sunday.
Yeah. That's right. That Mike guy, 1,000 episodes. You got about
Yeah,
6 months. Plan. You got a plan.
yeah. Save the date.
And admittedly, though, I also tried to get her for our 500th episode, and we were unsuccessful. But I'm hopeful. This is double.
It's 4 digits now, so
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Now, if she comes back and she's like, "I'm holding out for 5,000," well, that may not happen.
or guess what? Now you're making 2 episodes a day. I guess you're just gonna have to ramp it up.
Which I would do. My son would kill me. He's the one that has to put the time in.
Or I feel like, I feel like I saw like a bunch of the TV shows start to do, like talk shows start to do this where they like cut it up. So like if you're like, you have one guest on, but it's 3 episodes because you split it up.
Ooh, yeah, we could get to 5,000 kind of quick. Just I have part 1, part 2, part 3.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, movie studios are doing that.
I could put in like an extra few clips on episodes we've already done and just put them back out there.
Totally. Isn't that also kind of what Taylor Swift does with her album? She's like, one new song, it's a brand new album. People do it.
That is kind of true. And people buy them.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have that song. Got to have the whole album again.
Gotta have every song. Gotta collect
Connie,
them all.
thanks for taking some time. I was excited to talk with you. I think the show looks terrific. You're talented actress. I'm excited to see what you do going forward, especially when you land either the comedy or the ex-dancer Hallmark movie. Either one.
Thank you. I'm excited to see which one comes first.
You deserve both.
Thank you. Put them all together.
So a couple little things, Connie, before I let you go. Anything else that you're working on that we can keep an eye out
for? Yes, I have another independent film coming out called Lucky Star, and that
I did see that you were working on that. Yeah, tell me about that one.
Yes, so that is going to Santa Barbara in 2 weeks for their film festival, and then doing a theatrical release, I think, in March. Is what they're aiming for. It's about a father who has gambling addictions, and he kind of falls back. He falls for a tax scam and then falls back to his desperate ways to kind of make ends meet. I play his daughter, so it's also a family drama like the other movie, but
sounds stressful though.
It is, and it really is. And playing his eldest daughter, I get to see things from a very different standpoint, and so that was that's a movie I'm really, really proud of, and I'm really proud of my work in that.
It sounds like you should be. Is that when it comes, like once it's done with the festival route, will you get like a red carpet type of premiere where you get to go and watch it somewhere?
I don't know. I've been I did a ton of the film festivals already, so I've done some red carpets there and watched it with a few audiences, and I really enjoy it. But I think after a while you're kind of I don't know if I want to see it again. It just because
well, once you've seen it,
it might be a lot.
Yeah, that might be a lot. But yeah, that's exciting. That's I'll keep an eye out for that one because that.
And then the last thing I wanted to mention that I think actually might be specifically very much up your alley. Well, I don't want to say that. Maybe it's not, but just in case.
I'll decide.
Fair enough. So I produced and acted in I produced my first short film that I also acted in, and it's called Butchers. It's a black or not black, a dark comedy. Okay. A comedy thriller, and it's about these 2 psychopathic butchers who are best friends, and they kill their victims that they kill. They sell their victims' body parts on the black market to kind of cover up their crimes. So we see them
Did
kind of
you
get into.
write it?
I did not write it. My partner wrote it. He wrote and directed it and played the lead character. And
Okay.
it gets a little twisty because,
It sounds twisty.
yeah, they show up to a meeting and they're supposed to have, a box of their body parts, and they end up coming with a making mistake and having a box of steaks and their best-selling cuts of meat. So they have to find a body quick. That's kind of the premise. It gets a little
Pretty
hairy.
good. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So that now I'm seeing the comedy in it. That's that's
It's a
pretty
little
good. So
dark,
is the plan
light horror.
to like release it as a short, but eventually maybe make it into something bigger?
I think we're gonna see kind of what
That's a
we're
great
pretty open.
idea.
Thank you. Yeah, we're pretty open. So, I'm being an actor first, producing with something I'm learning. So this year I'm going to be submitting it for film festivals and kind of going through the learning process of the release. I don't know what to do. So I guess I'll
It'd
stumble
be
my
a
way
good
through.
learning year for you.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's going to be a big growth year. So I'll find
Well,
out.
when you and your partner are ready to talk about that one, holler at me and just come on
Oh, will
together,
do.
and we'll dive into it.
Oh, lovely. Thank you for the invite, Mike.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. That one does sound up my alley. Although I'm a bit of a chicken, so if it's got some gory scenes, I'll have to close my eyes.
Okay.
I can live with it as long as it's gone when I open my eyes back up. I'm good.
Okay, yeah, all right, all right. I think it's fair.
I'm just chicken. I'm okay with I've accepted it. I'm okay with it.
Okay, sounds
I'll
good.
just close my eyes. I'll open them back up when the scary part. My wife, she's not a chicken, but she can't handle stress. So,
Mm.
like gore and stuff, she can watch that. She doesn't like it, but she can watch it. I can't watch it.
Ooh.
But
Yeah.
when like a scene gets really intense, whatever it is, action or whatever, she has trouble with that. So that's when she tends to look away or piddle with her
Yeah,
phone or something like that, just till the stress goes down a little bit.
gotcha. Yeah.
I'm like,
My
okay.
thing's ghosts. Can't do ghosts.
Oh, really?
Paranormal. Mm-mm, 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 not
Like
fun.
of any kind?
Nope. Nope. Took me
Okay.
years to even say the word ghost, to be honest with you.
Have you been haunted by a ghost? Is that why you're afraid of them?
Nope, nope. I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't, if they ever try to come and prove that they are a thing, I don't want them to come. Please don't come. I'm not, I'm making it very clear I'm not inviting it.
My name's Bob, and I'm just here to make sure you know that I exist.
Good for you, Bob. Please stay
All
away.
right, we'll stop talking ghosts because I don't want to scare you. Okay, so last thing before I let you go,
Yeah.
where can we find you on social media?
Um, I I'm pretty much just active on Instagram. It's Connie
That's the
Miu,
best place.
C-O-N, yeah, Connimiu.
Yeah,
That's,
I like
yeah.
Connie with an eye.
Thank you. I did it myself, actually. I hacked I hacked off the E in grade 7.
Did you really?
Yeah, I decided I wanted a nickname and nothing sounds good. Like Con is a terrible nickname, so I hacked off the E and called it a day.
I kind of love that. My
Yeah.
my grandfather, we were Walls, and he cut
Mm.
the S off. And that was Wall.
Oh, interesting.
Apparently, whatever that was 100 years ago or so, you could just make that change, and it stuck.
Wow, interesting. I mean, who's to say? Why not?
I mean, I was like, all right, but apparently at some point there was an S, and you had an E.
Yeah, and I had an E.
All right.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, Connie, thank you so much, and I hope we do get a chance to speak again. Seriously, if you want to talk about the new one, just holler at me. We'll do it again.
Will do. Will do. Thank you. This has been so fun.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you had a good time because I have. This has been great. This is a terrific way to end my day.
Oh,
Ending the day
lovely.
and going to get dinner. It's a great way to do it. I'm in a good mood.
Oh, good. Good.
All right, Connie, hold on one second. Hope you enjoyed that, Conni Miu. She was terrific. Had the best time. Do yourself a favor, check out Doc. I know I'm going to be checking it out tonight. She plays Nurse Liz, and it stars Molly Parker. It sounds terrific. So I think tonight, which is Tuesday, will be episode 4. So definitely check that out. It is on Fox and then Hulu. She was also terrific in The Boys. If you've had a chance to watch that one, shows up as PA Bonnie, and her scene's really good. It's really good. So definitely check that out. If you're finding us for the first time, thank you for being here. Love to have your support. It's easy. It's free. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. Please subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything. Really helps us out. Our website is meistercon.com. You can find almost 900 episodes, audio and video versions. So please check us out there, meistercon.com. I'll go ahead and mention I've had a couple of these interviews today. I'm having a hard time with my Parkinson's meds today. They do not seem to be helping me as much as they normally do. I'm a little foggy, so I keep losing track of the thought that I had. So apologies if I went off on a tangent at any time. I probably did. But the bigger problem is that it's giving me trouble with my speech. I'm slurring just a little bit, makes my face tight right through here. So it's giving me a little trouble. So apologies if that was noticeable. Connie was terrific, so I'm sure you enjoyed her. But it's just something that I'm dealing with. Most days the medicine takes care of the issue. Some days, especially if I've been very busy, it doesn't help as well. So just FYI. Thank you guys so much. Till next time. Bye, everybody.